Yo, what it is, fight fans. So let's hop right into it. Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach press conference took place today. Ironic enough, the press conference happens in and around the time of when the fight was originally supposed to happen. But I'm just gonna talk real quick. Give my assessment of what I feel can be underlying when it concerns the clear frustration on Gervonta Davis's face. But look, nobody asked for this fight. And it's not really any disrespect to Lamont Roach, okay? I mean, he is a world champion, but I think really the consensus, removing, and also let me say, I for one, I like Gervonta Davis. I think he's a really good fighter, but I'm able, like with other fighters that I like, I'm able to be critical of them as it concerns whether the moves that they make, um, their performances and what have you. Like, nobody is exempt. I mean, Terrence Crawford, everybody. Like, I've criticized a lot of fighters, but I think for the case of Gervonta Davis, I mean, I think all of us in a collective have to really come to like a nucleus and really just say what it is, okay? And the reason I say this is because Tank is telling you guys the same thing that, like, quite honestly, I've been saying for about a better part of a year and a half. I really feel, man, Tank is looking at this like, meaning boxing, like a hustle. Now, what is a hustle, right? In most terms, you know, you do what you do, to get your bread. You know what I'm saying? And in all walks. What happens though, and I guess one parallel you can make to is the music industry, where there's people who are putting records out and become these stars. I guess, what's a star in the modern day, right? Like, I need to determine it, but again, big popularity, big following. But the actual, when we talk about the validity to the music, right, and the longevity of the music, it's very subjective as it concerns, the quality, right? Now we flip it over to boxing, okay? And I think with Gervonta Davis, the biggest criticism, if at anything, in his career has been he hasn't fought an elite level contemporary right here with him. And listen, there have been guys there. Just because you favor Tank over somebody doesn't mean that that particular person is not a contemporary elite level. Now, who are these guys that were in and around his division at the same time, that either in a fight or in a win would have made for big business, and in a win would have been clearly the biggest win of any fighters I'm going to mention now than what he currently has? And I'm talking about guys like Vasily Lomachenko. I'm talking about guys like Teofimo Lopez. I'm talking about guys like Devin Haney, and obviously now the the next name, Shakur Stevenson. He has not fought any of those fighters. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko have all fought each other. Shakur Stevenson is the newest crop to the 135 division, but he's also now a three-division undefeated world champion. Those names that I just brought up have accolades. They have things that, in a win for Tank, would propel him. And the biggest frustration, personally, I've had is I feel, not in every one of those fights, again, just my opinion, but I feel Tank has a high chance of winning a few of those fights, but for whatever reason, be it him, be it his management, be it the PBC, be it Al Heyman, or at one point be it Floyd Mayweather, these fights just never happen. And, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, this person signed a contract. Because here's the real deal, guys. None of you guys know this. I don't know it either. So when you hear stuff like, oh, he sent him a contract, I never believe that. I never believe that, ever, okay? When when fights really happen? When nobody says shit. When it's quiet. That's when fights happen. But Gervonta Davis, at 30 years old, you struggle to find elite level contemporaries. Being at 30 years old, again, he's not 24, 25, he's 30. Okay. And now he's going into a fight with another lightweight. Another super featherweight who's moving up in weight, has a title, but how how big of a win is this? Is this a bigger win than him beating Frank Martin? You know. So now the talk of retirement. He's talking retirement. He wants to leave the sport next year. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Look, boxing is a very hard sport for a lot of these fighters to just simply walk away from. But he's already talking about stuff that fighters like at 37, 38 are talking about, like your real estate portfolio, your stock portfolio, your stuff like that. And listen, that's stuff that even as a fighter you should. I don't think you have to retire to get involved in that. I mean, you look at Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather parlayed like the second half of his career doing that while making a lot of money fighting. But the difference, I guess, is Floyd actually fought his contemporaries. You know, however you want to measure the level of when he ended up fighting them, but he did fight them. And I think this is, Tank he's like in this teeter-totter line where if you walk away from the sport, and maybe he doesn't care, like let's be honest, and maybe he doesn't care, and he's legitimate when he says he just wants to grab his bag and just be quiet and be out of the sport. Because if Tank were, I'm going to tell you all this, and some of y'all may disagree with me, but it also speaks of the generation that we are today, where it's chew up, spit out, you're out of here. Tank, if he were to retire next year, and let's say he fights Shakur, even like that's the fight he has, and he wins and he retires, I'm not 100% sure Tank is going to be this fighter that is going to be remembered years and years to come. And why do I say that? Because when we mention the names like Floyd Mayweather, Ray Leonard, Oscar De La Hoya, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Tito Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, there's a common denominator with all those guys. They all fought their contemporaries in big fights on big platforms. They made big money. Okay? So we're going to find out, man. And I always leave the door open for Tank to kind of make a switch, because here's another theory I have. Okay? I said this a year and a half ago when it concerned Showtime. There's just certain things I see on the wall sometimes that I say you kind of have to take a step back and look at the canvas. Let's not kid ourselves, guys. The PBC are not the force that they once were. Their schedule has plummeted unlike any boxing organization in boxing today, period. And the proof is in the pudding. And if you remove Canelo Alvarez from the PBC's, well, he's really out now. His contract is done. Who do the PBC really have to work with? And where's the money coming from? And when I see the frustration on Tank's face, I'm telling y'all, man, every fighter at some point or another has to leave the nest, right? Well, you mentioned Cotto, you mentioned Oscar, Floyd, same thing. They all left Top Rank. There could be a situation here, man. You notice Calvin Ford wasn't there, Leonard Ellaby wasn't there. Something's, but do not put it past Tank to say, hey, man, I see greener pastures. I mean, we got this old buddy Turkey Ala Sheik that's just throwing bread at people, and anytime that happens, I don't care what fighter you talk about or you say, and even Canelo, trust and believe, I have no doubt Canelo is going to sit and talk with this guy. Anytime there's money involved. So we'll see with this with Tank, man. But with the PBC, there's a probability, man. And Gervonta Davis's price tag is getting pretty high there. And the PBC, they may not be able to pay Tank the kind of money that he's really demanding at this point, man. So lots to unravel. Tank will be fighting Lamont Roach March 1st. It'll be on Amazon Prime pay-per-view. And I believe did they announce that it's going to be in Texas or where that fight was going to be? Oh, I didn't really pay attention to the location. But, I'm sorry, Barclays Center. What am I talking about? So, but yeah, man, what do you guys think? Gervonta Davis, do you think he retires? Do you think we're seeing the last days of him at the PBC? He's kind of denying it. There's clear frustration. They were having this again, like I said, they're having the press conference around the time when the fight was supposed to happen, and now he has to wait till March. Tank only fought once last year. He only fought once the year before. No, I'm sorry, he did fight twice. I'm sorry. He fought Luis Garcia in January. So, in any case, man, not to drag it on. Let me know what you guys think. Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach, March 1st. Are you excited for the fight? I think people are probably going to get more excited. It happens all the time. As the fight gets closer, people get more excited. But what does a win do for Tank? Is Tank legitimately ready to bow out of here? Does he even care? I guess we'll find out, man. So let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, all that. I'm out. Peace.